Hi, and welcome to what promises to be the cluster F-bomb week of the year. So we have a major cluster happening on Tuesday with that lunar eclipse. So we're going to talk about that lunar eclipse. We're going to talk about how you can manage it. I do want to let you know I'm having internet issues again. They are working in the area, and so quick before I lose the internet. It is already Sunday when I'm recording this because I've been having so many problems. Just part of this energy. Look at this. I really want you to look at this overall energy for the week. We have the tiger. He's got she's got the insignia of the moon on there, and this is a very fiery energy. This week we get the lunar eclipse conjunct Uranus and Taurus. It is opposing the sun in Scorpio, and so this is fiery. Gutsy energy. There's a lot of other aspects making this just astrologically difficult. But I want to talk about Monday. I want to talk about Monday first, because Monday we get the calm. Monday, it's the calm. So I'm going to read this for you. I'm going to pull cards for the energy for the week. I have other cards that came out that want to be shared with you. It's not the usual reading because this is not the usual week. So I really want you to focus on the fact, we should put him on this thing, on the fact that this week it is about the tiger. And as the tiger, can swim through the emotional waters, right? The big cats, they'll swim. And so there's this energy around the going through the emotional waters. There's an energy around being stealthy, blending in, right? Their stripes are so they can blend in. And I think it's about knowing when to run and knowing when to fight. And I think both energies really come at us this week. And so, but it's Monday, it's the quiet. The lunar force, the ease in the darkness, the feminine power. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened to the midnight hour. And this tiger takes advantage of these forces. Look, the moon moves into Taurus at the midnight hour here at Eastern Time Zone. So I think that's very interesting. Spend some time in silence, drinking in the calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. This is a very empowering, powerful week that we are embarking on. It feels like we're about to get onto a ship and head out to sea, and to all of a sudden out of freaking nowhere what we thought were calm seas, because when we leave it's calm. Monday's calm, and then the storm blows up and it's a hurricane, and we aren't all gonna be able to enjoy the ride as much as we would like to. Okay, so this feels, that's why they were fighting with me. Okay, I love that the key to the situation is the Ace of Pentacles. And that in your heart space, you're supposed to focus on being the King of Pentacles. Ooh. It's the eclipses, guys. Look at this. Overall energy this week, we have the world. It is allowing a cycle to complete. And I'm going to show you here this week the most likely outcome for this week. There we have Uranus and Taurus with the Five of Swords. Get ready. There's a battle coming. This week, it is a battle, I think, for the soul of who you are. Like, are you really ready to let go of what doesn't work for you? Are you really ready to stand up for what you believe in? This Five of Swords is interesting because so often in the Five of Swords, it's got this energy of winner take all. And I think there's going to be a lot of that going on where I'm just going to fight so I can get everything I want. But what's interesting to me is that everybody seems to be moving in the direction. They're all dressed the same. And so this is a battle with a team. I don't think you do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. I think that there's a way through this storm that's coming. There's a storm coming. Huge storm. Okay, so let's take a look at this. What is in the heart of the situation, the key to the situation? We have the Ace of Pentacles. How perfect for a full moon in Taurus. We have an Ace of Pentacles. There is something that wants to be birthed. Okay, so I live in northern Michigan, and we have a tree, a pine tree. I can't think of the name of it right now. There's a pine tree, and jack pine, I think it is. And the only way the seeds open up is in a fire. It has to be hot enough to heat up the resin to open up the pine cone so that the seeds can spread. And the warbler, it's an endangered species. It lives in those forest areas, and so you need a fire. You need to open up to heat up the resin, to release the seeds in order to create a community that is supportive of these very unique, and the warbler. Okay, so it's about the throat chakra and speaking your truth. It is about in order to bring in a community, a new truth, your truth, but a new way of being. We're on a ship, and it's rocky. I know that there's a lot of metaphors coming through, but I have to tell you what they tell me. So the noise, as quiet as Monday is, the rest of the week, it's like someone they're throwing the big frat party, and the music is up really loud, and it's acid rock, which I don't like. Maybe you do, and you'll be like, yeah. All right, so the cards here are actually really supportive. I have to show you the action to take. Okay, so this is that Scorpio, Uranus, and Taurus energy going on, and here's the Scorpio card of death. The action to take is to allow the cycle to complete, and if you look up here, there's that full moon eclipse. Allow the cycle to complete. Allow the cycle to complete. Work with the energies of the moon. When you are willing to work with the energy of the moon instead of fighting the energy of the moon, that's when you win. That's when you are successful. So you hunt in the darkness, right? When the sun, when the moon covers the sun, and all you see is this ring of fire, right? And the sky becomes dark, and you're like, it's a blood moon. It's a blood moon. And so the sky actually is going to become red. The light is going to be red. And so it's all this fiery energy, and in that darkness where everything looks different, that's where you hunt. That's where you seek the answers. That's where you find the answers. And the answers are not out there somewhere. They're actually here. Because the action step for you to take, besides allowing this cycle to complete, how do you transform the situation? You create and you manifest your own luck. It is the Eight of Pentacles, but look at this. He is working on a horseshoe. Something new. The old shoe doesn't fit. You need a new shoe. You need a new shoe because this is new terrain. This is new energy. This is new, and we have to let go of things that don't work for us. And we have to figure out where we fit in now, and what fits right and what feels right, and who we are, and where do we belong. And there's a lot of shifting energy. Oh my gosh, it's really difficult, right? There's you'll notice that things that have bothered you before, they fall away. Friendships that are not solid fall away. Relationships, jobs, places that you live. There's a real shaking. I really kind of think there's going to be earthquakes because of this energy. There's a real shaking energy that's going on with this. Like the foundational structures of societies, whether you're talking about the world society or you're talking about the society within one single person, they're being shaken up. And what is not solid, what is not built on a solid foundation, is going to crumble. And where you don't fit anymore, it's almost like that pair of shoes, when you're a child, right? You get a pair of shoes in the fall, and usually by, springtime, your toes are busting out the front of them. They don't fit anymore. You've grown. You've grown, you've changed. There's nothing wrong with the fact that the shoes don't fit. It's just time. It's time to get a new pair. It's time to get a new something. It's time to figure out. Okay, so there's 3 guys here, right? All of them have weapons, but this guy's got a couple of extra. It's almost like the spoils of war, the victory. What did you learn? Because the sword of truth, the knowledge, the wisdom. What have you learned in this very difficult battle? That you take with you. But you leave all the carnage behind. You don't need that. The wisdom, that's irreplaceable. And so you're stronger. You're battle weary, but you're stronger. You've showed your courage. You know more than you did before. Maybe some of it you wish you didn't know, but you still know, and knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and how you choose to use it can be wise. There can be wisdom in that. I'm looking at all the major arcanas here. It's crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 12 cards. More than half of them are major arcana. That's because this is a fated event. And honestly, these two are clarified with pages, like new energy. And we have the new energy here of the Ace of Pentacles. In the heart space, so you have the King of Pentacles. You are rich in knowledge. You are rich in experience. You are rich in wisdom. You are rich in so many ways from what has happened. The struggle has been, the Star card here, has been allowing yourself to heal, allowing the healing. We have the Sun, Moon, and Stars. Here we have the Moon, and we have this page of Swords here, seeking the knowledge and the wisdom, and the Moon waiting for the right time to reveal what you need to know. And even though this looks like a crescent moon, if you pull it back a little and you look at it really from a different angle, it's almost like during the eclipse as the sun moves across and reveals more and more of the moon. It's being revealed to you. The struggle has been finding your power, your ability to shine yourself out into the world. I use this deck all week, right, to do all the other readings. And I'm noticing something here. We don't have Temperance, but we have the 13, and then it goes 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then 21. It's such a major cycle that is unfolding in a very progressive manner. So not only do we have all of the counting along, the moving along of the energy, it's so, we're being carried forward. But here we have the card of Judgment. And here we have this page that's looking to the future, waiting for the information. And then here it is. It comes in. It doesn't come in during the daylight. It comes in the light of the moon. It comes in a flash. It comes in a moment of inspiration. And with that comes the healing and the ability to recognize just how truly abundant you are. So your abundance, when you feel the abundance in your heart, that is how you manage this energy this week. It's very big and powerful energy. It's at the end of the major arcana. This is not the new part. This is really, okay, so when you're going through the major arcana and you get to the Wheel of Fortune, it kind of starts moving again in a new cycle. Well, we're in that aspect of it. And so it is not just a conclusion, it's a major conclusion. I was listening to an astrologer explain just how big and long the cycle is. It's decades big. So it's a major, huge conclusion and a projection forward. And in some ways, you could actually say that this energy really is almost centuries of a cycle. Because we're having, in the United States, we're having the Pluto return and we're about to have the Uranus return. And so many of the planets, the big guys, have been lined up where they were, you know, back in 1776. And so it is this huge completion of a major cycle. A leveling up. What is the insight? What is the wisdom that you're gaining? Are you going to allow yourself to heal? Because if you will, you are being given a new seed of intention. Focus on that seed of intention and focus on where you want it to go. You, in your heart space, focusing on this seed of intention, but not on the seed, but on where you eventually want it to be when you harvest. And with Jupiter and Pisces and Neptune and Pisces, the dream is allowed to be as big as you want it to be. I have to caution you this week to stay in your own lane and focus on your dreams and your goals, because honestly, there's a lot of sketchy, secretive, manipulative, behind the scenes energy of people trying to lie. They're either lying to themselves or they're lying to other people. They're trying to make things, maneuver things. It's then so important that you are in your truth and that you're focusing on creating and manifesting your own luck, your goals, your dreams. There's a lot of noise. Can you silence it? I don't really want to watch TV this week. All right. So because it's an eclipse, I got these doorway cards. And when I started pulling them, they just wanted to keep coming. Okay? So here we are entering in. The divine. Ooh, that looks like a doorway of another one that's called the hummingbird. It's very interesting. Okay, so I don't have that one here, but I saw it earlier. The divine guardian. Don't be nervous today or tonight. The path you are on will lead you just right. So now that I've scared you and said, oh my God, it's a cluster F-bomb of a week, and there's a lot of things that are being manipulated, and it's going to be hard to tell what is real and what is memorex. Just remember, when you have this many major arcana cards, it's because the divine is helping to turn the wheel to complete a cycle. It has always been destined for this time frame. And so we are not alone. You're fine. You're right where you're supposed to be, and you are fine. This one right here, I love that. Turquoise, that's the higher heart and the chakra combined energy. That is your higher truth. And it says deeper. You are not finished. You are not yet done. The deeper and the deeper, the best is yet to come. Hold on. hold on. This week, hold on, hold on. Oh my gosh, it's going to be raucous. It is. And not all of it in a way that we would like. I think the short-term effects feel pretty devastating to many people. It's as though, oh gosh, but what doesn't work has to come down so you can build something new. And that's what the universe is doing right now on a very massive scale. And so we have a cure for longing. Love is happiness, a spark inside. Live deliberately, choose boldly, and then you have arrived. Focusing on where the goal is in your heart. That's how we ride out the storm. And not just survive, but thrive. And then there's this beautiful one here. And it says, begin here. Do not fear what travel brings, my dear. The moment is yours. Begin now and here. You're right where you're supposed to be. And you have a clean slate if you choose. Releasing, letting go, allowing a cycle to complete. I cannot stress enough how important that feels right now. How important that feels. All right, I'm going to pull cards. I'm using the Karma cards. They're kind of fun and they're definitely different. I'm going to pull them for each sign of the zodiac. They come in threes, planet, sign, and houses, and they create a little sentence. And so allow it to be like a message from the universe of how to use this energy to take your next step, right? Because you're the seed of intention at this point. You're the seed of intention. You're the little acorn that wants to be the oak tree, right? You're small, but your potential is immense. So let's go ahead and get started. If you want to put it in the comment section, please. Thank you so much for what the signs are. I do want to thank everybody that's joined me on the live chat. I know many of you check out once you hear your sign. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for leaving comments and hitting the thumbs up. Whether you're watching this live or in the replay, I really can't tell you guys how much I enjoy this channel and the friendships I've made and the little community that's growing. So hopefully you were in the live chat. If you don't know how to get into the live chat on your phone, I should have told you this earlier, but the powerful messages were coming in. You just hit the button that says live chat. So if you're trying to figure out how to get in, now is a good time. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with Aries at 2320. And Aries, you have the planet of the sun. You have the planet of the sun. You have the sign of Scorpio. Well, okay, that's where we are. And we have the fourth house of home. So if, for instance, this is actually something that's relevant in your chart, you might find that useful. But the sentence is, the creation of, the purification to resurrect what makes you feel secure. This is an opportunity, Aries, in this leveling of the eclipse energy to create and resurrect. So for some of you, it's a recreation. For some of you, it's a creation of what makes you feel secure and at home. That is super powerful. Nice message for Aries. All right. Taurus. The eclipse is happening in your sign. All the fixed signs are getting really hit hard. Actually, the first couple of weeks of November, they're going to get hit really hard. So the fixed signs are Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. And then the second half of the month, the energy shifts. And then it'll be Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Libra that really feel the weight of the energy. So there's a changing of the guard that is happening. And so this big completion that's happening here with this eclipse in Taurus this one. Let's take them out. It's really pretty powerful stuff. All right, so Taurus, you are at 25 minutes. So Taurus, the card of Pluto came up. That's this destruction that is happening through this full moon eclipse happening in your sign. It says resurrect the genius to experiment with. So in Aquarius, there's a T-square happening. So that energy of that squaring off with that is really affecting you, which you knew anyway. But here, resurrect the genius to experiment with by making the right connections. It's time to do a little networking. So this is the third house of communication. So networking with, this could be emailing, short distance travel, reconnect with your family, close friends who felt like family. There may be a need to resurrect some relationships from the past, and I'm not necessarily talking about intimate relationships, but relationships that you've struggled with, to have an opportunity to reconnect with them now that you all have moved through the energy, right? And so you've learned, you've grown, you're not the same people. If you try to connect with somebody from the past the way you were in the past, or with the expectation that they're who they were in the past, it's not going to work. Instead, it's like coming in fresh to a situation. So if you're, you may be going back to an old job you had, and you have to learn it a new way, or you could be moving back to an old neighborhood, or you could be coming up on a class reunion, but it's been a couple decades and nobody's really the same, and good for them. Everybody should be growing. Or it could be that there is a part of you, a joy that you had in your childhood, that you're like, I really liked that person and I wonder what they're doing. And maybe you just pick up the phone and call and connect. The genius to experiment with means to not do it the same. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. And so here's an opportunity to do things a little bit differently, to find a new way to connect in. You know, and the holidays are coming, and so much difficulty around the holidays. I have to say, Thanksgiving itself feels much better than most of the rest of the month. And so that's an opportunity to have conversations where you aren't bringing up the crap from the past, but where you're actively listening and interested in what's going on in their lives now, and you build from there. So this is an opportunity to really strengthen the bonds that matter by doing it, by communicating in a new way. All right. So at 28:30, we'll do Gemini. 28:30 is Gemini. Gemini, you have the Neptune card. So Neptune is actually squaring your sign right now, which is a big player because it's toward the end degrees. And so with Mars retrograding in your sign, that energy is going to play out even stronger as we move through this month. And you have the card of Libra. So the idealization of relationships. Ooh. In service to others. All right, Gemini. When you idealize what you're supposed to be in a relationship or what someone else is supposed to be in a relationship, that can be really, really exhausting. And Neptune and Pisces, everything just seems so great. Oh my gosh, this is so, so amazing. And so probably not real. Neptune is really great for getting in touch with your inner world and your dream world as innovation. But when you apply that energy to a relationship, now you are setting yourself, unmet expectations is the biggest pain in the neck in relationships, right? And so Try to see things as they are. It's going to be really hard because you also have Jupiter there, and I know this energy is just really making it foggy, and it's squaring your energy, which means it's uncomfortable. And I honestly think that there is a chance that something that you thought was so magical, now you see the truth of it. But it says service to others because it's the 6th house. It's Virgo. It's the day-to-day way of working. It's also around health, physical health and stuff. And so there is an opportunity here for you to get real in relationships and work out the give and take in a way that's balanced, right? 6th house always wants us to come into balance. And if you're giving too much, it's time to ask to receive. If you're taking too much, it's time to make the effort to give. And allow this full moon to clear the slate and allow you to, if not in the relationship you're in because it can't do it, but in as many relationships as you can, relationships moving forward, to be in a balance where you don't idealize the situation, where you give and you receive in balance. It's like looking for, are they giving back? It's a juggling act. And with Mars working through your sign, really helping you to reevaluate how you do things, the actions that you take, it's a really good time to see where do you give and where do you take, and is it in balance? And it could be really in balance in this space, but not in that. Over here, I give too much. Over there, I take too much. And so trying to bring all the pieces of the pie into balance. It's interesting that they said pie, not puzzle. They're saying because then it becomes sweet. What's your favorite kind of pie? All right, so let's take a look at 3220. We'll move into Cancer. Cancer, you have Mars. Energize. I keep getting that for you. I keep getting this eclipse is like striking the match under your butt and getting you moving. Oh my gosh, Mars in Cancer. Okay, well, this is really fascinating. All right, so why is it fascinating? Because Mars is retrograding in Gemini, but in a few short months, so right at the spring equinox, or, you know, if you're in the southern hemisphere, the fall equinox, it shifts into Cancer. So Mars is moving into Cancer. And so if you're like, I don't feel the energy yet, then start getting ready, because in about 3 months, 4 months, then the power is yours, right? The power is yours. Oh my God, I say the power is yours, and I look down and it says 8th house, personal power. When Mars, usually in Cancer, is soggy and wet and can't do anything, but for you, you're going to feel an energetic away. Almost it feels like the Kundalini energy rising all the way through your system and ready to go out and grab life by both fistfuls of it. I've got horns in my hand is what it feels like. And really be able to tackle anything. And wow. Okay. So and that's the 8th house of transformation, is going to completely transform your life. And so something coming up during that time frame, Mars will be getting up to speed. It usually spends, like 5 weeks in a sign. And so I would say until we get to the next eclipse, which there is an eclipse so we have 2 eclipses coming up next year. One is in Aries and one is in Scorpio, next spring. And so they're end of April, beginning of May. And Mars, I would have to look it up, and I don't want to smack thing. At that time, wait, there it is. At that time, you're really going to find that you have the power really fully in your hand. I feel like it's an energizing power, because when it moves into Leo, it's on fire. You will be on fire is what it feels like. So Mars goes through Cancer from the 26th of March through right there on the 21st, the day that the sun moves into Taurus. That's why I got the bull. That's why it was the bull. So during that period, you should feel your energy really, really rising. And when the sun moves into Taurus, Mars moves into Leo, you're going to be rocking. You're going to be rocking. So, wow. Love it. Love it so much. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. At 36:15, we will do Leo. Okay, so Leo. Let's see what messages you have. I know this eclipse is really going to allow you to release and let go of some major stuff. It's very empowering energy for everybody, but I noticed when I did yours, it felt excessively empowering. And as I say that, I get this ringing in my ears. You have two cards that want to come out. I'm going to let that happen. So you have Venus and you have Uranus. This is interesting to me because Venus is conjunct Scorpio and Uranus is conjunct conjunct the sun in Scorpio, and Uranus is conjunct the moon in Taurus at the time of this eclipse. And so you have the attraction energy of Venus and something very unusual about it coming through with the Uranus energy. It's almost as though something new. And Venus, rules Taurus. Something unusual and different is going to transform. You have the energy of the 8th house. It says a life or death issue. I kind of was picking that up when I was doing your reading. So for some of you, this is actually somebody you know physically passing. And I'm sorry about that. But for most of you, it's the death of an old way, an old paradigm. It's like, if I don't change this, I might as well shrivel up and die. That is what it feels like. So it's not actual physical life or death for the majority of you. For the majority of you, it's that I have got to break free of this situation. I cannot be confined anymore. I need to be me again. And sure enough, we get the Leo card. We get the Leo card. Self-confidence to create. To create the new you. Whatever you were, however you're feeling chained down, however you've been feeling oppressed and just there was this drowned kitten energy around it. Wherever you have been being pushed down, that tiger, you're going to push through this. It's going to look different. It's not going to be the usual way. You can't go back to the way you used to do things. It's a new way of doing something. And it matters. It matters that it's different. And it's going to be a risk in a way. It's going to be taking a chance. It's going to be definitely doing it different. But it's having the confidence to step up and say, I need to do this. Otherwise, I'm not actually living. I think people are going to end up looking at you. So let's just say you're married and you say to your spouse, I know I've been working at this job for 25 years and, you know, I just can't do this anymore. I wanna quit. I want to move to, let's pack everybody up. And we're out of here and I want to go on the road and I just want to live a different life. I can't do this anymore. I can't do the 9 to 5. I think you're going to shock people when they're all like, wait, what? You're going to do what? Yeah, no. I want to see the world, and I can't see it from here, so we're going to do something else. We got to do something else. I just feel like there's such a strong calling inside of you that the way things have been cannot continue. I've got to do it differently. I've got to be someplace else. I got to be someone else. And that someone else is who you truly and authentically are. It's like you've been wearing a suit that is not who you are. And the real you really wants to come out. And this is really a powerful, again, you guys are caught up. The fixed signs, this is major energy. It is a breaking through, a busting through. But for you, this busting free energy is true freedom. To go out and create your new paradigm that you want to live in. Beautiful energy. Virgo, 4130. Virgo, you have Mars, the planet of action, the drive for your faith. 12th house. Cycles completing in Libra with relationships. If you've been struggling with your relationships, you get a new cycle. But it doesn't... Okay, so Mars doing retrograde in another Mercury ruled sign. It's an opportunity for you to... Mercury's about communication. You are about the analyzing part of Mercury, the commerce. Well, they're more the salesperson, but you're the analytical part, the organizational part. When it's reworking something about how you communicate, to a partnership. It feels like a partnership. I think it could be a business partner, like the way we've been doing things doesn't work for me anymore. Can we try doing it in a different way? But I think that it's not a breaking apart of these partnerships. It's a, how can I communicate to you my ideas in a way where we're all on board? I believe in this idea. I believe in this partnership, and I need you to get on board with it. But in order for that to happen, I have to be able to communicate it to you in a way where you can hear what I have to say. I have to say that's not going to probably happen this week. There's a lot of noise. But I think this week you recognize, so this could be a week where like everything blows up, big old fight about something, and you're like, wow, in your very analytical way, you're like, the problem is the communication skills. And we can never change anyone else. We can only change ourselves. And so I think there's an opportunity for you to like dive a little deeper into how you communicate in order to create. And so say you're building a platform, a website, and people don't seem to know how to navigate their way through the website. How can I create a website? And it's kind of got that energy of I need to figure out how to be understood. And since, again, you can't make other people change, you have to change what it is you're doing and how it is you're doing it. That's the only place you have any influence, right? Is on what you do. That's where the action takes place. And so with all this energy of Mercury being in Scorpio right now, Mercury in Scorpio is about manipulating, okay? And it's a mutual reception with Mars in Gemini right now, which means they're both having this conversation about how do we do this to make this work. And so that can create arguments, but it also gives you the opportunity to reassess and reevaluate. How can I manipulate? And I don't mean that in a negative way, but how can I move the pieces around in order to create and to manifest something in a way that works better? Because I believe in us. I believe in this. I believe in this project. I have a lot of faith in what's happening here. How do I communicate that? How do I take the action steps that allow that information to come through in a way that produces the results I'm seeking? Wow, that's a lot. It's kind of tough. All right, 45. We have Libra. Libra, you have the card of Mercury. 12th house again showing up here. Mercury, your faith. In Virgo and in Leo. It's so interesting. So listen to what I just said for Virgo, because I feel like that's important. Okay, so back up a little bit and go to that. So you have the awareness of serving others and the confidence to create what I believe in. Very much a similar message. That being said, Libra, you guys had the most interesting reading this week. It was totally a love reading. It wasn't really like, it was how to be in a loving relationship reading. It was about you, completely you. But it was super interesting. It was very unusual, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing your reading this week, almost enough that I said, oh, maybe I want to do relationship readings for 1 week, but I kind of doubt it. That being said, it was very much Spirit had a lot of advice for you. And so I think that this full moon allows you to clear the slate a little and be willing to look at things around communication. There's an awareness of what your thought process is, how you communicate, and how much you give and how much you take in a relationship, and does it allow you to create the kind of relationship you want, and also does it allow you the space to be who you are, to be very much who you are, and to create the level of joy and happiness that you're looking for. And again, with that 12th house, it is the completing of a cycle, but it's about having faith that the next cycle, the next opportunity is really positive. And so there's this belief and this faith in the future that's coming through in these cards for you. And so trust that whatever is ending or letting go here, this old paradigm, is an opportunity for you to reassess and reevaluate the actions that you take and how you care about yourself and how you love yourself and the confidence that you have in yourself and the perfectionism that you may expect from yourself and from others that's creating a disbalance, an imbalance. Sorry, disbalance is not a word. An imbalance, and because Libra needs to be in balance, but Libra isn't that. Libra is not about static, stationary. You're an initiating sign. And so it's always bringing things back into balance. It's always about the give and the take. It's always that teeter-totter movement. And so there's a lot of opportunity for a little introspection and a lot about what do you really like to do and who you are and what do you enjoy and not rushing in. I want to say not rushing in to the next relationship. Don't rush into the next one. Take the time to love yourself and enjoy yourself and be who you are. How did I get these all messed up? Because I'm talking. Learn to love yourself. And then you'll find that you'll know if someone's a good fit for you or not. Remember, we're working on creating our own luck. A little bit of self-mastery. All right, so 4940 is Scorpio. Scorpio, you've had some intense stuff going on here. So, Scorpio, just so you know, the South Node is in your sign. That's why the eclipses are happening in your sign. And you have the South Node card. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. Y'all just saw it come flying out. South Node says there will not be. The South Node is about releasing. And there's so much that's being released right now. Right after this eclipse, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all move across the South Node in your sign. And so there's a lot of personal releasing and letting go that is happening for you. Oh, okay. Like, we can't really do this any differently. So, you rule the 8th house, and you have the 8th house. I want to see what else we get here before I say a word. These are all not in the right side. Oh, you have 3. Okay. We will let that happen because you have so much going on. Oh my God, Taurus showed up. All right. You know how I said there were 3 things that you are going to release and let go of? Let's look at that. These are things that will completely change your life. Completely change your life. Because you have this came up as a life or death issue. And it's not about dying. It's about like a snake shedding its skin. Okay? If you don't let yourself outgrow that old skin, you will shrivel and die. You have to allow yourself to transform. Okay. One of them, this Taurus energy, is the resources. There is a shift and a change in your personal financial resources. You have Libra. There's a shift and a change in relationships. And you have Virgo. There's a shift and a change in the way you look at things, in allowing the healing process to come in through the heart space, not through fear. Making choices based on love and not fear. Making choices not about, I fear I'm going to lose financial resources. You can always create more. You can always transform those. You should get those through other people, but you can do it for yourself. You're going to transform your life by allowing yourself to listen to your heart, drop down into your heart, and listen. It's so loud out there, but in here it's quiet. The anxiety that comes through for you comes through the worry that you don't have the right partnership, that you don't make enough money, that you sniff out trouble before anybody else. Like, you're like running through all the different scenarios of where things are happening, how they're happening. Here's all the potential disaster parts of it. And you're being asked to let that go. To instead have the belief that things are going to work out as they should. That things are going to heal. That you are going to heal. So to step into your personal power, you have to let go of power. Your personal power doesn't come from controlling and manipulating other people and what they do. When you're trying to hold everybody in line, and then an eclipse comes along and it shoots everybody out and they're all running, you will be torn to pieces if you try to hang on to all the things that are trying to exit. But you are whole and complete all unto yourself, and you don't need all that other stuff. And so your personal power comes from recognizing your own ability to manifest and create. And through the practical actions that you take to piece your own personal life together, where you don't need to manifest by controlling, manipulating all the people around you. it is really hard to take that hard look at yourself, that deep dive, and say, where can I do the work on myself? But you're being asked to do that. When you get the 8th house and the South Node, those are both Scorpio stuff. South Node, not always, but it is right now. And 8th house is always you. And so there's this dynamic of needing to really allow yourself to pull your energy in. Not because you're a succubus pulling everybody else's energy in. They all need theirs, and they're going to fight you for it. They're going to fight you for it right now. Everybody is going to fight for their own personal freedom this week, whatever that means to them. It is your inner power of understanding your own personal magnificent. The deep inner work of working on yourself, that is where your power resides. That is what this eclipse is asking you to do. You get one more eclipse in your sign, a full moon eclipse coming up, I want to say right around Cinco de Mayo next year. And so right around the 5th of May. And I think that over the course of the next 6 months, as you really focus on that inner work, I think what ends up is you're stepping into your power right now, but I think you can fully claim the mantle of it, because then the South Node will be moving out of your sign about a month and a half after that happens. And I think then you will be learning. It'll be like, it feels like soft skin. So you'll need to protect yourself for like the next year and a half while the North Node is in Aries. There will be the time for healing and allowing it to be like a balm of healing. And with that Virgo card coming up, I really think that healing really comes in, as it always does, when the North Node moves another sign. And so that South Node, when it gets into Virgo, so we're talking almost 3-year cycle. I'm really sorry to tell you, but good things take time. And there's a big deconstruction in order to reconstruct, and you're going to be feeling a little vulnerable for the next couple of years. Don't overcompensate for your vulnerability by trying to take other people's power. Instead, work to grow and develop your own personal power. That is where the gift is. The gift of the South Node in your sign. That is the gift of being a Scorpio. The ability to completely transform. It's really powerful. All right. Sagittarius. Do Sagittarius at 58 minutes. Sagittarius, you got a new moon headed your way this month. And it's a little dicey too. I think it's opposing you. Well, it's not really. The new moon's not as bad as that full moon that's going to happen during your sign. Okay. Because Mars in Gemini is opposing you. And so everything that you're trying to move forward, not only are you being opposed by Mars, but he's moving back, going, yeah, we need to go over that again. And I think it makes it really hard to stay optimistic, but I want to encourage you to be your optimistic self. So here we go. You have the sun, the creation of, and then Gemini, information to explain, and the love and health freedom. And I think that there's this sense everybody has. There's just a long explanation for Scorpio there, where everybody's just trying to take off. Like, this is like being shot out of a cannon. We're all trying to go. We're like been confined for so long, and we want to just go out and be ourselves and create who we are in this new energy. And you are no different than anyone else. There is a need to be able to explain it not only to yourself but to other people what you need freedom from. A way of doing something that it's always been done that way, it's always felt that way, it's always whatever. It might be freedom from past childhood traumas. It could be freedom from some kind of just a family tradition that you can't stand, everybody else always does, and you're like, oh, I freaking hate that, and this is why. Can we do something different? It could be something mundane, but it doesn't feel mundane because I feel like it bothers you so much that it's not really mundane. It could be a new career, a new place to live, but having to explain to other people why you can't live here anymore, you've got to do this. It feels like I need to explain to people why I am who I am, and it scares you. And I have to say, who the hell cares? The people who don't understand, they're not your tribe anymore. And I really want to encourage you to find your own tribe. You will shine there. And if you feel like you're having to play it small and you don't really fit in and people don't really like you, or you have to pretend to be somebody you're not in order to be accepted, you're in the wrong place. And right now, a lot of us are not in the right place, and we're all shifting around trying to figure out where that is. It's like a big game of pickup sticks. Like they all got tossed up in the air, and we got to figure out where we all fit together now. You're no different, and you'll be fine. And you know, you're in that integration period that I was just explaining to Scorpio that they'll be going through when the nodes shift, and so you still feel a little soft, you still feel a little vulnerable, and I think also you will, once we get through Gemini season next year, you will start to, yes, okay, I got this, because you'll be moving into, especially if you're a Sagittarius rising, you'll be moving into that 8th house of transformation where you're like, yeah, no, I got this. And Mars in Cancer might really be helping you at that time. And so allow yourself to go through these shifts and go through these changes. And if people don't appreciate who you are now, that's okay. They're just not your tribe anymore. They've changed, you've changed. We're all just moving on. Because if we're not, it's not a good thing. We all need to figure out where we belong now. It is new energy. And sometimes it's sad and it's hard to leave people and places behind, but sometimes we just have to. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn, 1 hour, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Holy moly. Okay, Capricorn, you have Uranus. You have Uranus. Stir up the situation by using your information to explain. It says immediately the first house. What are you waiting for? You know something, you figured something out, you have something you're trying to birth out into the world, you have something you're trying to put out there. It's going to be game changing. They're saying game changing. It is a big shift for a lot of people. And yeah, is everybody going to get what you have to say? No. They're not maybe ready for it. That doesn't mean that it's not ready for the world. Even if the world is not ready for you and what you have to say, it's time to say it. And so this eclipse energy has a bit of a trajectory to it. Again, like I'm saying, until May, I can feel this energy. It's like shifting out there, and there's a lot of other things going on. But I'm saying that over the next 5 to 6 months, you are really going to need to put this new idea, this new plan, this new business, this new opportunity, first house. That's you, Capricorn. First house. It's energy of Aries, if you were to use the basic thing, which means, do it your own way, do it now. There's a need, though, to communicate it out. It's new ideas, it's an invention, it's a new way of looking at things. It's going to stir the pot, but it's a stirring up of a good thing. There's a big change coming. Really like this energy. This is nice. All right. At 1 hour, 4 minutes. Wow, if you guys are still with me all the way through, God bless you. Good thing we got that extra hour of sleep. We're going to need it. I'm just thinking, I like to sit up and work through this, right? That's cool. because we'll be done a little after 8:30, and yet it'll feel like only 7:30, and that'll be nice. Okay. All right, so who are we? Aquarius. Aquarius, you have the moon. The moon says defend and accept. And let your feelings tell you how to move with confidence, to create, to take the risk, to take a chance on something, because you have Leo. And you have the 5th house. You have the 5th house, which is Leo ruled house. So Leo is your opposing sign and having a lot of effect here. Okay, so have the trust and the confidence, the trust of a child. This isn't the jaded trust because you've done something so many times you know it works. Like, I'm confident in this. I've done it a million times and it always works. No. This is the, I'm going to try something new, but I totally trust it's going to work out. Because I'm a kid and I'm a Leo and I just believe in everything I do and I have all this confidence. Leos are fun. It's an opportunity for fun and romance. It's a chance to be a little dramatic, to have a little flair, to create something. It's a little impulsive. It's a lot of fun. And Aquarius, you're due. And so you don't have to fight for the right to have fun. Just go do it. And accept that your feelings are real and you're entitled to them. And they don't have to be analyzed or explained or defended. They're your feelings. You're entitled to them just as everyone else is. So if you like something, you like it. Why? Doesn't matter. If you don't like something, you don't like it. Why? Doesn't matter. Kids don't explain their feelings. They just have them. And they're also easily distracted, right? Like, oh my God, that really bothered me. Oh, look over there. They're like squirrels, right? And that's great and that's fine. And so quickly leave behind things and situations or energies that make you uncomfortable and just skip ahead to something you want to do. Go have fun. Aquarius, Saturn's been hanging out in your sign, making it really hard. But there's a breaking free, and Saturn's getting ready to move out of your sign. Thank goodness, right? And so now it is time to bust free and go have some fun. You've learned a lot of these lessons. Saturn's done with the retrograding through there. You have the freedom to move forward. Pluto is on his way. Pluto wants to transform your life. So you've been playing by the rules, been kind of boxed in. But Pluto's like, yeah, no, we're going to shake things up a little and really transform the situation with all the downloads, the insights, the enthusiasm, the childlike enthusiasm that you have for new ideas and creations. We're not going to do things like we used to do. And you get to lead the way because we're in Aquarius energy. It's great energy. Super excited about that. All right, last and not least, let's do it. At 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 30 seconds, it's Pisces time. So, Pisces, in case you missed it, the mutable signs are going to get a little rattled toward the end of this month. But I really think for Pisces, the blow is softened by Jupiter being in your sign going, it's okay. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Look, you have the South Node. Interesting. The South Node's about the big release, the letting go of. Not worrying about, because it's time to let something go. Don't worry about having the energy to meet the challenges. There is strength in your honesty and your integrity and in believing. You know, you're probably better than most signs about being able to let things go because you rule the 12th house. You understand the completion of cycles. You understand being connected to your emotions. And I feel like what you're being given is an opportunity to step into your own personal power and not worry about what other people think and not worry about having to take care of everyone else. You get to take care of yourself. Because what we have here is there will not be anxiety about the trouble around the energies to meet the challenges of your desires regarding the honesty and the strength from freedom, from the associations, from the circle of friends, from service to others, is about doing what is right for you. It is about your work. You get the hall pass to go be yourself, to step into your power. And this full moon is going to do that for you. It's going to be like it's graduation time. It's more than a hall pass. It's graduation time. It's time to go out into the big wide world and trust yourself and trust your own personal strength and trust who you are. Your strength comes from being honest and authentic to who you are and what you want and not being a doormat. No more being a doormat for Pisces. That's the old energy. The new energy is, yes, we give in service. Yes, we help others. But it has to be good for us too. It has to be balanced. Wow. All right. So there you go, guys. Thank you for sticking it out. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with me. I wonder if everybody's even still here. Have a great week. I say that and I laugh. Have a productive week. Big changes for everybody. Can't be missed. But I think if we focus on our own personal growth and development, if we tune out the noise, pull our energy in, focus on our goals, our dreams, how we're creating our own luck, using the judgment of the downloads and the insights to grow this little page, this little Ace of Pentacles here into something big and magnificent. But it's an inside job this week. And all that crap that's going on around us, you know, if in the U.S., vote and then release the outcome. Okay? Do your part. Have your voice heard, whatever that is. But then release the outcome and focus on your own personal growth, your projects, your life. What can you do now? And that's how we move forward in this energy. All right, you guys take really great care. Again, thank you for being here. And I will talk to you guys soon. And trust me, next week it won't be anywhere near this long. This is ridiculous. All right, take care. Bye.